The reason I'm showing you this, I love it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the third video in my build for the Great Guitar Build Off 2023 Scratch Build category. Today we're going to make a fretboard. Now the fretboard is the part of your guitar that sees the most action. It's the part that you feel under your fingertips when you're playing it. It's the part that answers two big questions you have to answer right away about your build, and that's how many frets are you going to have and what's your scale length. Now, I'm just a hobbyist, I'm no expert, but I believe if you go ask any professional guitar builder, they'll tell you that some extra attention paid when you're making your fretboard could potentially save you a lot of grief down the road when it comes time to string up your guitar and get it set up for the first time. Now, in this video, I'm going to take you through the process that I use to make my fretboard for this guitar build. It's just one of many ways. Every guitar builder out there has their unique method that they use to make a fretboard and glue it to the neck. Mine's not any better than anybody else's. It's just different and it works for me. So I appreciate you joining me. Let's jump to it. And so with a freshly planed piece of persimmon, I went to my computer and used Fusion 360 to model a fretboard. I chose to use a 24 fret, 25 inch scale configuration for this build. Now because I'm going to be machining this fretboard on a CNC machine, I was able to add a couple of features that would be extremely difficult to do accurately if I was just using hand tools. The first thing is I designed it with a conical radius, or a compound radius as some manufacturers like to call it. On the narrow end of the fretboard at the nut, I have a nice round 10-inch radius, but it gradually transitions to a flatter 14-inch radius at the 24th fret. Now that's just a personal preference, but I feel like that makes for a fretboard that plays good all the way up and down the neck. And as an added bonus, because of this dark magic called geometry, I'm able to design this fretboard with a consistent 1/4 inch thickness all the way along the crown of the fretboard without having the edges get narrower toward the wide end. The second thing is blind fret slots. I held the fret slots back about 1/10 of an inch from the edge of the fretboard, and that gives me a nice clean edge without having to bind the neck of the guitar. I'm one of those weirdos that only like bound necks on Les Pauls. Now as for the inlays, I went back and forth for about 2 or 3 weeks trying to decide what I was going to do with the inlays. At one point in time, I had decided to do something kind of wild and crazy, but then I changed my mind because I want the redwood top to kind of be the focus of this guitar, and I don't want anything to detract from that. And so I decided to keep the inlays simple. Now, not because it's easy, but sometimes in the right context, there's more beauty found in simplicity. And if you look real close, you'll notice that these aren't just normal round dot inlays. They're ellipses that I've rotated 20 degrees off the center line axis. And so when all of that's machined out and filled in, they'll kind of look like little music notes on the fretboard. And so, armed with a chunk of wood and a freshly minted CAD file, I'm off to my friend Brandon Roberts' machine shop, U Solutions.
Hey everybody, I am here at U Solutions with my friend Brandon, and this machine that you see behind me is just one of many CNCs that he has here in his shop, and this one happens to be the biggest. This is a Mazak VTC 20B. This thing's a giant. It's like 15,000 pounds. It will machine something almost 4 feet long and just about 2 feet square. And so I'm going to turn the camera around here and get a shot of this. All right, so this thing is massive. It's probably about 15 feet long, probably about 12 feet deep. Hold multiple tools, automatic change. I mean, this is a conveyor belt to get rid of the shavings. This thing is crazy. It is made to machine giant blocks of steel. Hey, and the reason that I'm showing you this is in a gross act of overkill, we're going to use this machine to cut out a fretboard. I'm not looking at the camera. Dang it. Got to look at the camera. Look at the camera. It's up here. We're going to use this machine to cut out a fretboard just because we can.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you want to continue to follow along with me on this journey for this build for the Great Guitar Build Off 2023, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like the video while you're at it. Thanks. I'll see you on the next one.